Good morning, Rabbi Isai. You should know, I still, there's a little bit of me that still has some hope. I see you go like this, so like one step towards the that's how it starts. It's with emotion, and then all of a sudden, Rabbi says it's a big simcha for us. The famous Moshe did it bless all the way from Petach Tikva, the amount of times that he came from Petach Tikva here, and he did a lot of work with the, not the satellite, the retention groups. So here's the breakfast, this lavish breakfast sponsored by him in honor of 1 year of learning the Daf with MDY. But thanks to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Rebelli, my wife, and all those that have helped me along the way, and hoping for continuous Yad D'Shmai in the future. He told me many times, he never believed. What was your thing though? What? Why? You were very surprised that you were able to do it. You told me this a while ago.
I was surprised that I made it past the month.
Past the month. Why? You're a pretty consistent guy, no?
I haven't missed a day in a year.
Yeah. Haven't missed a day in a year and he's shocked. Givaldik. Rabbi said tremendous news. It's better than I thought. Over 50% of dapim of the new Gemara that we're coming out with, and it's be'emes. It's a special thing. I'll tell you why it's special. It's easy to read, and you get the entire shot just by reading the top. You don't have to go to the bottom. Many times in other whatever, there's a translation in English, but the pshat is on the bottom. Over here, the pshat is there, and we're getting better and better at it. And unbelievable, over 50%. There's only, I think, about 5 dapim left for sponsorship in the first volume, which is amazing. Just yesterday, these are the people that got dapim yesterday. Moshe Nahon, Gedalia Waldman got 2 dapim, Chavav and Chazai and Anonymous. Zorach and Merlin, super. David Sau, huh? Who? David Sauer. Yona and Chaya Rothman. Yona Rothman. I didn't notice this. Ayin Aleph. Anonymous. Chaim Milrad. Elliot and Susan Hagler. Abraham Gutman. And Anonymous. Yishkoach Golem Oid. This Motzei Shabbos we're having a Hebrew Balava Malka in Bnei Brak, sponsored by the one who owns Chazdei Naomi, the famous Moshe Cohen. And we have music by Udi Marasha, right? That's how you pronounce his name? If the Olam is part of the Hebrew Shir, or you're part of one of the satellite locations in Eretz Yisrael, the 29 satellite locations for the Hebrew, you're invited. It's going to be a fun time. I began learning Daf Yomi a few years ago, of course, starting with the Mesechus Brachos. When I reached Mesechus Zevachim, I lost my way for understandable reasons. And I felt it was a real shame to stop this understanding until I came. This is like a translation from Hebrew, of course. Until I came across Rabbi Stefansky's Daf Yomi, for which I'm grateful and can attest as an exceptional course. Shir, Rib Eli, do you think we can do something in French? Eli Frankel Strasbourg. Meir Planka, I mean, this is something that Yossi Klein's been working on for 2 years, but Be'ezer Hashem, it's going to happen. If anybody has good info of how to do AI translation to French, because we saw yesterday in one of the videos, I was speaking like a Spanish guy. The voice is there, they have the technology, the voice is there, and the lips are there, so it literally looks like I'm speaking in Spanish and in French and in Yiddish. We just need the technology, we need good technology, and then we need people to like go over it quickly to make sure that there are no crazy mistakes. By Philip Krinken, dear Rebelli, I want to send a short message. Thank you for providing a platform in the comments for something I would have thought impossible. On your test Kislev last year, I started Sanhedrin with MDY. I've not missed a daf in a year. Mamish like you. I may not remember everything I've learned, but your stories, your jokes, and the Haimish Yiddish expressions are invaluable to me. May this be the month of Geula for all of us, and may you, your family, and the MDY Mishpach be benched for Al Zachen. Thank you again, and a Chassidish Yontif to you. P.S. A big thanks to Chaim Snow for showing me the light. Regards, Phil. Was ist das?
Los Angeles.
Huh?
Los Angeles.
Oh, this is the live. This is what they put on the table. This is what they do every day. L'kavod Ari Simon and Hillel. The Masechta is sponsored by David Salomon, a dedicated memory of Bobby Moiri. Oh, what? Is that RBS or is that LA? What's going on here? Nachos there. Snapple, Rabbi Isai. Got it. That's not Snapple. What's that Z? What is Z? Tapuzina. Ah, it's just all the good drinks. Tapuzina. Wow. I told you, it's like a shtickle Ramat Bet Shemesh over there. It's Ramat Bet Shemesh in LA. Gewaldig. The two guys that sit in the front table are sitting top front over there. Gewaldig. David Solomon dedicating to memory of Reb Shmuel Baruch Ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doi Zichron Livrocha. We're doing, by the way, you can learn from him. This is our one and only now corporate sponsor. There's another guy talking about being a corporate sponsor, but to be a corporate sponsor, you have to, to make it worth it. Otherwise, we can't push people's businesses. Masechet Sponsor Anonymous. Anonymous. Sponsor Skyber Capital in honor of our friends Meir Kovacs, Taki, and Shamsi Shlafrak for their devotion to Torah study in the Shir. Joel Gedalius, Lina Nishmas, my father Jack Gedalius. Anonymous. Atzlacha Beruchnis Ubegashmis. Coil sponsors for the month. Anonymous from London. Parnosa B'Shefa. Amen. Monthly sponsors Anonymous. Please down for Refuah Shlema for the world's best dad. Aaron Ben Chai Sarah. Refuah Shlema. Anonymous. Brochat B'Yidai. Baruch Tzvi Nisim Ben Shoshana Leah. B'Yam Ben Chava. Anonymous from London. Hatzlacha B'Parnosa. Weekly sponsors, Yidi Hollander, in honor of my father-in-law, devoted to the Daf each day as he marries off a child, Yosef Ezra, in memory of Yeshua ben Shimon Dov, and a Parnosa Toiva. Daily sponsors, Zelig Lichtenstein, in honor of my mother's yard site today, Le'enachama Bas Pinchas Zelig. Which Zelig? Remind me. Austria Zelig? Okay, now I have. In honor of my mother's yard site today, how's Sully doing? He's out? He's out of the hospital? Today. Okay. Rabbi Isai, here we go. Art of the month. I don't see it. It's not in here. Not here. Took it out by mistake. Huh? Okay. What's the art of the month? Yonatan Eitan ben Basheva Bracha. And then we have Mordechai ben Esther, and the kid is Daniel Esther. No, Daniel. Huh? Daniel Zev ben Ayelet Esther. Oh, we got it. The art of the month. Givaldi. What are you saying? Who said something? Oh, the guest. Who do we have? Shalom Aleichem guest, all the way from the Syrian community in Brooklyn. Shalom Aleichem. It's a big thing. They're going to try to get you out of here. They don't last. Syrians don't last. We have Murad Akash and we have, what's his name? No?
Joey.
No, Joey, of course. And the Irani, Freddie Irani. And then, no, we have the guy that did the daily. Grazi. Yeah. But we have a few. Shalom Aleichem, welcome. Treat him nicely afterwards. Rabbi Isai, be on your best behavior. Plan B. Okay. Says where are we holding? Daf. Peidalid, Omid Beis, 2 lines from the bottom. Omar Rabbi Yochanan. Daf. Omar Rabbi Yochanan. Hashoichet behema balayla bifnim. One of the 3 terrible things. We had a whole list of I had this other guy. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? All the way in the back. Oh, okay, yeah, I know you. You coming to the Shabbaton?
I'll be here.
Oh, what a great excuse. Okay, great. Who else do we have? Rav Yoina's here. Who else? You're not such a guest. Okay. What? Yossi Saunders is not a guest anymore. Huh? Which guy? Oh, this guy. He's not so new. Oh, Rabbi Yochanan. We had a whole list of things that go onto the Mizbeach. If they shouldn't go on the Mizbeach. They're all possible. But if they go on, they don't come off. And then Rabbi Yehuda said, but there's a list of 3 things that Tzaddik. Yeah, thank you. There's a list of 3 things that, if they go on, we got to take them off. Why? But let's have this guy. Once you're sitting down in your seat, you don't get up, right? That's the rule over here. Yeah, okay, very good. But if you were shefted at night, Then you come off. Then you got to come off. You hear? Okay, got it. Excellent. Don't be shechted at night. So what if somebody shechts an animal inside the Beis Hamikdash? And then at night, and that's something that's very, very little Kedusha, if any. Because if it had some Kedusha, if it had some sort of connection to Kachim, if it goes on the Mizbeach, it wouldn't come off. And then this guy goes, Vehela Bachot, and then he takes it and puts it on the Mizbeach outside of the Beis Hamikdash, Chayav. So here's the pasuk, Rabbi Yisai. Let's just see the pasuk. Asher yalo oila zevach. This pasuk says. We're talking about bringing a korban. He didn't bring it into the Beis Hamikdash. You get kares for bringing a korban outside of the Beis Hamikdash. So you shechted an animal, not you, but him. Shechted an animal inside the Beis Hamikdash, brought the animal outside onto Mizbeach, he gets kares. Why? He says as far as Pei Hey Yomad Aleph. The act of the shechita shouldn't be worse than somebody that shecht outside of the Beis Hamikdash. You shecht outside of the Beis Hamikdash, it's also shchute chutz. It's not. There's no kedusha over there. And if you put it on a mizbeach outside of the Beis Hamikdash, even though you shecht it outside of the Beis Hamikdash, you're chayiv kares. So certainly, if you put it inside, if you shecht it inside the Beis Hamikdash, it shouldn't be worse. The problem is, it seems like it is worse. From the case of a bird. Moser Rav Chia bar Oven. Hashoichet oif bifnim vehelo bachotz potter. What's hashoichet? Hashoichet means he did a big boo-boo over here. Instead of doing malika, he did shchita. He shechted a bird inside the Beis Hamikdash. And then he takes it and he brings it on top of a mizbeach in Bet Shemesh. Potter. So you see, you are potter, even though you did the shchita inside the Beis Hamikdash. Shachat bachotz. Now, just to finish off the question, you see that if you did shecht outside of the Beis Hamikdash, and then you put it on a mizbeach in Bet Shemesh, chayav. What do you see? That shechting inside the Beis Hamikdash actually is less. It is worse shechting inside the Beis Hamikdash than shechting outside. Because if you shecht the bird outside the Beis Hamikdash, you put it on a mizbeach outside the Beis Hamikdash, you're chayav kares. But if you shecht the bird inside the Beis Hamikdash, bring it outside the Beis Hamikdash, you're potter. So what's Rabbi Yochanan's raya that if you shecht an animal at night, and then you bring it outside of the Beis Hamikdash and you put it on, you chayav. Use Rabbi Yochanan's svara by a bird. Neima, how come you don't say the svara? If you shecht a bird inside the Beis Hamikdash, it shouldn't be any worse than if you shecht it outside the Beis Hamikdash. You should be chayav also if you shecht inside the Beis Hamikdash and bring it out. To Yufta, it's a good kasha. But, says the Gemara, but if you really want to, you can make a nice lamdish shechilot. Shchita sa'oi b'fnim mikdal katlei. You know, it's very different if you shecht a bird inside the Beis Hamikdash and outside the Beis Hamikdash. If you shecht a bird inside the Beis Hamikdash, you're actually killing it. You're murdering it. You're not shechting it. So says Rashi, Mikdal Katlei, lo yishayich shchita b'fnim klal. There's no concept of shechting a bird inside the Beis Hamikdash at all. Lo b'chulim v'lo b'kachim. There is no such thing in the Beis Hamikdash. So then, but at night also, there's no such thing as shechting an animal in the Beis Hamikdash at night. Says Rashi, there is a concept of shchita when it's not in the Beis Hamikdash. So there is a concept of shechting a bird when it's not in the Beis Hamikdash. So what does Rashi say? Perhaps Rashi is trying to say like a nice, maybe a lumdish word over here, that shchita at night in the Beis Hamikdash is not a problem in the shchita. The problem is that there's no avoida in the Beis Hamikdash. It's not a bad shchita. The fact is, you see, shchita works at night all over the world. The Schlachthäuser are open all night long. But shchita of a bird in the Beis Hamikdash, it itself is a bad thing. It kills the bird. It's considered ritzich of the bird. The fact that there's shchita outside of the Beis Hamikdash doesn't help us. Amrullah. Before we start this, I just want to say a quick halacha. If you only walked away from the shir with this one thing, it's kedai. A massive nafkimina between kachi kachim and kachim kalim. Kachi kachim, like a oila, asham, what else? Chatos, thank you. Kachi kalim, Pesach, Bchor, Meiser, Toida, Nazir. Okay. Big nafkimina. Nafkimina, when you shech the kachi kachim, it's kachi kachim, on the spot. So you shech the chatos, it's kachi kachim. Kachim kalim, when you shecht it, none of the kachim kalim turn into kachim until you do zrika. When you do zrika, let's go back to kachim. When you shech the kachim, shech the chatos. It's kachim on the spot. Now, if you take the blood of the kachim of the chatos and you put it on the mizbeach, it actually removes some of the kachim, so to speak. It allows the kohen to eat it. Until then, if the kohen tried to eat it, he'd be over me'ilah of using something from the Beis HaMikdash. So the zrika allows a human being to benefit from it. The kohen. Kachim kalim is the exact reverse. It starts off as kachim kalim. There's no me'ilah. When you, in other words, anybody's allowed to eat from it, but when you do zrikas hadam, then the imurim become kachim. Every kachim kalim has kachim in it called the imurim. They only become kachim after the zrika. Knowing that, we go into the sugya, and this is things that we learned already, so it's easier. Omer ula imuri kachim kalim shehelam lefnei zrikas damam lo yerdu. Let me just show you real quickly. Here's a new imurim, very, very nice. Here's imurim. Hold on, here, because we're getting there. That's a little bit of the sugya now. This is imurim. This is the part of an animal that goes onto the mizbeach, even if it's kachim kalim. You have the kidneys, you have the skirt steak, and you have the fat. He's showing you what. I asked Yoshi just to show what it is, because yesterday it was chopped up into pieces and he threw it like a nut. Over here it's more realistic. Skirt steak, that's the skirt steak. That's between the lungs. It's like heels. That's imurim. Those are kachim. That's kachim, even though it came from a kachim kalim animal. Yeah, the Saber says 9. Now, if you have a murim that you put onto the mizbeach before the zrikas adam, we said the zrika is what makes it into kachim. Nevertheless, if you put it on the mizbeach without the zrika, nasu lachmish mizbeach. That's the concept of the bread of the mizbeach. You put it on, the mizbeach grabs it. Don't take it off. I saw they bring from Rav Moshe. Rav Moshe Feinstein says, uses this lashon. He says, very interesting. If you bring up your child with Torah, so you brought him onto the mizbeach, so to speak, lo yerdu. So even if this kid, Rahman al-Islam, goes off the derech, he'll come back. It's like I don't know, it's a haftacha, or it makes more sense. There's more of a chance he'll come back because you gave him Torah when he was younger. Whereas if you didn't give him Torah, it's a little different. Omer B'Zeira, Afanana mitanino shenishbach dama v'shiyotza dama chutz laklayim. I'll bring you a raya. If you have a situation where the blood went straight from the animal onto the floor, the blood spilled on the floor, or the blood in the klisharis went outside of the Beis HaMikdash, what's the halacha? Allah lo yerid. If you brought it onto the no, any blood of a carbon, doesn't matter now. Kachim not. We're not talking about that. Dam of a behema, the dam that has to do zrika, and it went outside of it could be kachim kalam also. Kachim, doesn't matter. It's spilled on the floor. It went outside of the Beis HaMikdash. Allah lo yerdu. You put it onto the mizbeach, it doesn't come off. So the Gemara makes it kavachaymer. You can't do zrika with blood that spilled on the floor directly onto the floor. Nevertheless, amrisim Allah lo yerdu. But if you did put it onto the mizbeach, it doesn't come off. Hacha, by the imurim that we're talking about. The blood is exotic. You could do the zrika afterwards. The blood is available to the zrika. Blood is exotic. Like Kolchkein, that if the imurim went onto the mizbeach, lo yerdu. Says Gemara, no, not such a great raya. Why? Tir Gemara kachim. Maybe we're talking about kachim and not kachim kalim. Kachim, they have gedusha before the zrika. So if you put kachim on the mizbeach before the zrika, of course it doesn't come off the mizbeach. Why? Because it's inherently kachim before the zrika. Fakert. Maybe the zrika takes off a little bit of that, of the I don't know what's the word, the sharpness, the whatever. Not, it doesn't take off the kedusha. I don't want to say that. But the point is that a kohen could start eating it after the zrika. Says the Gemara, but Hari Pesach. What do you mean? It says in our Mishnah, case of Pesach. Now Pesach, we also decided, is on the list of kachim kalim. So how are you telling me that the Mishnah is talking about kachim? the Kachim Kalamu. And if it's referring to Pesach, the Chayr is referring to all the Kachim Kalam. No. Tirgama b'shalei l'shman. I don't know why the Gemara says Tirgama, because it says Mefurish in the Mishnah b'shalei l'shman. But the point is, we're talking about only a Korban Pesach that is after the Zrika. Maybe that's the Pshat. Now I'm thinking now to myself, Tirgama b'shalei l'shman. Because the Mishnah says Mefurish b'shalei l'shman. Pesach b'shalei l'shman. What's the Lashon over here? Where is the? I don't know. Wherever it was, it says Pesach. Not in this Mishnah. Where is it? Anyways, wherever we had in the Mishnah or the Bryce that brought it, it says Pesach Shaloi L'Shmon. But so Pesach B'chatos, maybe it's that even. Shaloi L'Shmon. So the pshat over here is the Zrika happened before. There was a Zrika, then you put the Pesach on, but it was Shaloi L'Shma. And we know the first Mishnah of Zevachim is Pesach Shaloi L'Shma, Chata Shaloi L'Shma, throw it in the garbage. You ruined it. So even though there's Zrika, but we can't be talking about other Kachim Kalam. We're only talking about Pesach alone, Pesach the Yidin Shaloi L'Shma, and that happens to be a different case that there was Zrika before. The rest of the Mishnah is that Zrika happened afterwards. So now we learned in the Mishnah of Chulam Shu'alu Chayin L'Gavi Mizbeach Yerdu. You bring a live animal onto the Mizbeach, a live sheep onto the Mizbeach, get him off, Yerdu. What could I be medayik? I can infer from this, Hashchutim lo yerdu. Seems like it's only because it's alive. But if it's dead, it doesn't come off. And it doesn't make enough kamina what kind of dead animal you have over there. Any animal that you shechted, it's dead now. Even kachi kalim. My love, loishne kachi kachim, loishne kachim kalim. I'm just thinking to myself now, for the first time in a long time, let's look back for a second. What we knew 85 days ago about kachim versus today, no? I think we grew a shtickle in Stam. We said kachim kalim. I don't think many of us really were holding. Now it's like, okay, I know what that is. I don't need to see the list anymore. Yeah. At least that. One thing out of the whole Masechta. They're getting better at it. Beseder? You daven chakras already? Givaldik, where? That's wow. Oh no, so you should be from the first ones here, not the last one. Okay, next we'll talk afterwards. Loi, hashchutim mehem yardu mehem lo yardu. So it seems like dafka if it's alive. Imagine a live animal on the mizbeach. Well, of course, take it off. It has 4 feet. Take it off. What do you have to shecht on top of the mizbeach for? But I could infer from that if it was shechted already, even a kachim kalim goes. So the Gemara says loi. Hashchutim mehem yerdu mehem lo yerdu. No. It's a nice deal, but not, what you have to say is there are some that come off. Even some stay on. Which come off? The kachim kalim will come off. Very nice. Vakulam kotani. But it says before they all means all the live ones come off. All the dead ones stay. They go no kulam achayim. No, the word kulam is referring to the live ones, not to the dead ones. The dead ones, if it's kachim kalim, have to come off. But pshita, why would I? Obviously, we're talking about the dead ones and make a chilu between kachim kalim. Why would you tell me that any live animal has to come off? What kind of chiddush is that? Loila machayim. We're talking about the live ones. Ubedukin sheba'ayin. We're talking about a specific type of animal that has a cataract. And if it has a cataract, we're going to be more lenient with it. Why? Because a bird that has a cataract is kosher. So therefore, an animal that has a cataract, if it's on the mizbeach, lo yered. So Nachamal, we're talking about live animals. Let's just to fit it into the words here. We're talking about live animals that have cataracts, and the Mishnah tells us take him off the mizbeach. But I'm talking about a live animal that has a cataract, because if he has a cataract and he's dead, you don't take him off the mizbeach. I'm talking about a category of cataracts. I'm not talking about all animals. Of course, a regular animal that's healthy, take him off the mizbeach. Saying even a cataract animal, why? What's going on here? If you take a cataract animal and take him off the mizbeach, if he's alive, great. Well, not great, because if you take him off, you can't bring him back on. Once you take him off, the whole chiddush is that if he has a cataract and he's on the mizbeach, then you don't take him off. But if you remove him, now you're stuck. You can't put him back on. When it comes to cataracts, that's not a mum that we take off. You shouldn't put him on, but if it's on, you don't take him off. Here we have a nice video of cataract. Optica for you. Bekashrus Rabbi Akiva, it says over there. By the way, this happened to me last night. A pigeon hit the glass in my porch, and it's stuck in my porch. It can't fly off.
אני עכשיו אראה לך תמונות,
I'm going to show you pictures.
ואתה תעשה את הקולות שלהם.
Say the noise.
מו! וואו! אתה לא יכול להיכנס, אתה בעלמום. רק עופות במצב שלך יכולים להיכנס.
Only birds.
Hello? Bah.
All right. Zevachim. It's on. Oh. Gewaldig. Oh. Very good. Says the Gemara, "B'mayu kimta b'psulim." Yeah, right. What do you? So you telling me we're talking about a balmumir, an animal that has a cataract? Ema seifos. How does it fit into the rest of the Mishnah? V'chein oila she'alsa chayil l'reishim mizbeach tered. The Gemara is going to answer. Okay, so one case is like this, one case is like that. But meanwhile, we're talking about a cataract. But what about the oila? Even an oila that goes onto the mizbeach when it's alive, l'reishim tered, get him off. Shchad l'reishim mizbeach yavshid v'natach v'mkoima. If you shecht it on top of the mizbeach, it's a funny thing. You're standing there 20 feet. How tall is it? 10 amas, yeah, 10 amas. 20 feet above ground, in front of everybody, shechting on a platform. Okay, if that's what happens, so you cut it up into pieces, and you put it onto the mizbeach. Somebody asked me last night, I didn't look into it. How do you cut it up into pieces? You're not allowed to bring a knife onto the mizbeach. How do you shecht it? I don't know. You mean say, yeah, but he shechted it because he did a boo-boo by shechting. You're not supposed to shecht it. So he didn't know, so he didn't know you bring a knife. But now once you have this thing, you go ask the Rav. He says, okay, chop it up into pieces. I guess in this case you have to. I don't know.
Maybe once he has the knife.
I think, no. Doesn't it say that?
Now let a building with a knife.
Yeah?
You're allowed to shecht with a knife. Sure.
Okay. Stam amratzis. Let's see. It could be there's some point to it. Vi psula. And if this animal is possible, how could you cut it up into pieces? It's a miyot. Only it do you cut up. Only if it's kosher, not if it's a puzzle animal. What do you do if you have a puzzle goyla on top of the mizbeach and you're not supposed to cut up? What do? You take it as is, toss it into the fire, whole. Says, well, you're right. Seifa son like sheiro. When it's talking about an oila, it's alive. It's talking about a kosher animal, not the puzzle. You're right. The first part of the Mishnah, we're talking about a cataract, and that's the whole chiddush in Malul Yerdu. But maybe we should close the window. Umaykom Ashlon, the yesh hevshed v'nituach v'roisham mizbeach. It's a big chiddush. If you were to ask me, I'd say no. Why in front of the whole Beis Hamikdash, thousands of Yidden have to watch you skinning this animal and chopping it up to pieces? Not so mechubet. No, you do not have it in mizbeach. Ulamando Omar in hevshed v'nituach v'roisham mizbeach ma'ikil meimar. So, I think the pshat is, so there's a man that holds, there's an amoyer that holds that you're not supposed to do it on top of his back. Okay, so he doesn't hold like it. So our Mishnah is, but how does he fit it into the Mishnah? How would he argue? How would he say there's no such thing as doing hefshin mituach on the mizbeach? If our Mishnah says against him, he's not going to argue with the Mishnah. We had a situation where they did zrika, There's already a kosher animal. There's already a kosher a carbon. V'nifsala. And then it became possible. So what? Now we have a big problem. That if you're going to take it off the Mizbeach, you're not going to be able to bring it back on. There's already a ritzui. Dam is maratza. We learned throughout the Masechta. The dam is the kapara. The dam is maratza, this carbon. It's a good carbon. Even for one moment, you should skin it. And where do you do it? On top of the Mizbeach. Why? Because if you take it off the Mizbeach, you can't do anything with it. And you give the hide to the Kohanim. It says that how do you do it? You take the kishkis out and you soak them and you rinse them out from all the junk that's in them. So the word lamali is a little interesting here. The Gers, Rashi's Ger is different. You can see the Gears in Rashi. You can see it on the side over here if you have a Geis Tziyurim. So Rashi says, once it goes down, it can't come up again. So that's the problem. If you take the kishkis off the Mizbeach to rinse, how are you going to bring it back on? It's puzzle. And puzzle, once it goes off, it doesn't come back on. Says Gemara. What do you want us to do? You should put it onto the Mizbeach with the waste inside the animal. When we had, I just remembered now, when we did it's coming up very soon, in just a few months. Chulin, like less than a half a year. We're going to, Be'ez Hashem, do a live demonstration with Rabbi David. I hope he's able to do it still. He was a young guy. Tzichas Chulin, the famous brown Sefer on Chulin, he did it. It's unbelievable. So when he opens up that animal, the smell, and he takes out the kishkis. I mean, imagine this animal's been eating grass for the last 3 days, and it's all in there. It's nervayim. And imagine putting that, a sack of waste, onto the Mizbeach. It's not. So take it off. As the pasuk says here, I got to see the pasuk inside because it's a famous pasuk that's brought down in Shas all the time. What, you're going to bring a blind animal as a carbon? A lame, a crippled animal? If you're going to bring such an animal to your mayor of the city, to the guy, the ruler, a boss of Adam, is he going to be happy with this? You're bringing a limping animal? You wouldn't give it to a human being. Do not bring it as a carbon. You can't bring something like that on the Mizbeach. Interesting, I said last night that there's a chumrah. I just saw it for the first time, like just a few days ago. Somebody sent it in a WhatsApp or something, that people are machmir on Hanukkah to use olive oil that's edible. It's a Rebbe Yashiv, they said. And this guy writes me like this. Hi Rebelli, I'm an American Sephardi Avreich who enjoys watching a Hebrew shir on 2 times speed. Anyways, you mentioned the halach about certain olive oils which are disqualified for lighting the menorah. Perhaps you would call this a kiss from Hashem. The source is in the Ben Ish Chai, this week's Parsha Vayeshev, year 1, halacha 13. Although it's worth knowing that Ravadia argues, Halichot Olam, volume 1, page 67, Chazon Ovadia, Chanukah, page 88. It's not mamish this halacha, but it says over here that Shem Zayis Mitzvah Meniach Shem Tachas Hamito. Oil under the bed, lo yidligo b'ner Chanukah, lo yidner Shabbos, Mishum the Kol Midah Da'achilo, Shorel of Ruach Ruach Tachas Hamito. Oh, if it's edible, then there's a real if you can't eat it, nimas lemitzvah, Mishum HaKivelo V'chasechos. He says it's nimas la'achilo. Interesting. A little different. Yeah. The other reason they say is that you shouldn't use oil that it's not edible. Maliyafa, an avreich in America, watches this year, Givaldi, that it has to be similar to the menorah. In the Beis Hamikdash, the menorah of Beis Hamikdash was edible. Says the Gemara, Anan hachi kamrinon, madichon lamali. Why are you rinsing it? Take it off the Mizbeach and leave it off the Mizbeach. Why are you rinsing it? Throw it in the garbage. It's not good for the Mizbeach, so why do you have to rinse it? Says the Gemara, I'm rinsing it. What if a kohen didn't know it's flying? Take a look at this video right over here. What is this?
So you throw it in the garbage.
Oh, the Sfasemis asks, why don't we just throw it directly in the garbage? But before that, yeah. Hold on. Oh, here we go. I don't know if you guys remember this guy. This guy's a little bit of a shlemazel. He's the bris, but also a shlemazel. He tripped.
No way! What time is it?
This is the hadocha. They're rinsing out the kishkis over here. Yeah. They rinsed it.
Not so fast.
Like
Where
that,
do you think you're going? These are psulin. Once they're brought down, we don't bring them back up.
He has no idea what that is. It's a ger. He's a ger. I'm just assuming he has the. They had that. What do you mean? The famous Maisa. The guy who was collecting in shul. He goes. Why does it have to be a ger? Just from the accent. Well, he's from Texas. Hey, from Greenman. Chill out, from Greenman. No. I'm just saying. There's a guy went to the shul and he's collecting money and he goes, I'm an Einiko from the Baal Shem Tov and from the Levim Berditchev and I'm a Ger Tzedek. One of these guys. He goes to the Beis Hamikdash. He tells the Olam that he's. Anyways, whatever. Where is he from?
Frankston.
He's from Frankston, Texas. Frankston, Texas. He's not a Ger. He could be Jewish. Just has the. There's a bunch of them. Just the build, and the accent together. Yeah. Oh, ask the Gemara. Top of the Pehei Omid Beis. Vana Neku Navelu Koyana Milsa Dasu Ba. Does it make sense? We should rinse it so that if a shlemazel comes late and he doesn't chap what it is, he might bring it onto the mizbeach and it should be at least clean. So we don't clean it and hopefully nobody will take it on. I thought this is unbelievable. This is a carbon that doesn't belong in the mizbeach, it's puzzle. Yet it's still kachi shemayim. It has a little kedusha in it, and that kachi shemayim shouldn't be sitting on the ground with all the waste in it, like an avela. The turning of the Daf is sponsored by Dar Global, the famous Aryeh Simon who's in Los Angeles, being mechazik the oilam over there. Going global, he changed the wording, thank you. Going global to be mechazik the LA satellite locations. He's unbelievable. The dedication, the Mesiras Nefesh he has. He flew on business class from here to LA just to be mechazik the oilam over there. It's unbelievable. I want to cry. Stephen Schwartz, Lily Nishmoy, my parents, Million J. Schwartz, former owners of R&S Deli in Lakewood, New Jersey. What time is it in Los Angeles?
10 hours.
Okay, Hilla looks exhausted.
Omer Chiber Abo, Boy Rabbi Yochanan, Emuri Kochim Kalim, She'elon Lefnei Zrikas Dom Yerdu Lele. This is the sugi we had in Omer Aleph, so it sounds familiar. It is. You have the Emurim, Nochamal, what are Emurim? Let's show the picture. You have these Emurim, and he put them on the Mizbeach before he threw the blood. We know that the Zrikas Adam is what makes it Kochim, gives it if it's Kochim Kalim, and we're talking about Kochim Kalim now. And he put it on the Mizbeach before the Zrika. Yerdu lo Yerdu. Now that we know this, now it makes a lot of sense. Why are you asking me if this should come off the Mizbeach? Ask me a much better question. What if a Kayan eats from that skirt steak? It's ganz geschmack. You buy Benny's, people buy it all the time. It's one of the better steaks. What if you eat a steak before the Zrikas Adam? Perhaps I could say that you put it on the Mizbeach, it got some Kedusha. The Mizbeach, it says, Kol Negea Mizbeach Yigdosh. It has Kedusha. So I put it on the Mizbeach. It's already Kodesh. It's not, there's no Me'ilah. The Mizbeach took away the Me'ilah. Omar le Me'ilah le kamei bar le. 100% is Me'ilah, the Zriku, the Kabbalah Me'ilah. it's only the Zrikas Adam that does it, not just by putting and placing on the Mizbeach. It's not going to remove the Me'ilah. My whole question is only, do I need to remove it from the Mizbeach or not, because there's no Zrikas Adam. Upashit, and what's the bottom line? Lo yerdu, it does not come off the Mizbeach, ve'ein ba Me'ilah, and you're not over on Me'ilah. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchok Masna Hachi. Rav Nachman says it the opposite. It comes out the same thing, but the opposite. In other words, the question was not on Im Yerdu, but the question was exactly what we asked. How come he didn't ask about Me'ilah? That's what he asked. Rabbi Yochanan did ask that. He heard Rabbi Yochanan asking it. You're talking about Kachim Kalim, the parts of the Kachim Kalim that go on the Mizbeach. That if a Kayan eats it after Zrikas Adam, he's over on Me'ilah. Shehel of Zrikas Damam, but he put it on the Mizbeach before Zrika. Yesh Me'ilah. Is the Kayan over on Me'ilah? But there's no Zrikas Adam. Maybe the Mizbeach made it Me'ilah. Just ask me a simple question. Do you have to take it off? That's Pashit. There's the concept called, this is the bread of the Mizbeach. I just want to know, is the Kain over Me'ilah? And he said the same thing as we said before. Lo yerdu. First of all, if you put the emurim of a Kachim Kalam on the Mizbeach without Zrikas Adam, it doesn't come off. Ve'ein ba Me'ilah, but at the same time, there's no Me'ilah. We're going into the cataracts. Rabbi Akiva said that the only type of balmum that goes on the Mizbeach doesn't come off. We're talking about a balmum, a low level of mum called a cataract. Today it's like not even a mum, no? You're just going for a small little procedure, and Shalom Yisrael, probably a few minutes later, you're already walking around. B'dukin Shabayin, Hoyel, think about it. For 4,000 years, more, people walking around the world not seeing because they have cataract. And today, like that, it goes away. Why? Because we see the concept that this is not the biggest mum in the world by a bird. Time out. The R mum in a bird. If the wing withers away, no leg, you're not allowed to put it on the Mizbeach. But a mum of a cataract, you could put on the Mizbeach if it's a bird. So mele by an animal, you can't put it on the Mizbeach. But if you put it on the Mizbeach, it doesn't come off. But he says there's one condition. V'hu shekodam hegdeshon es mumam. You made a kadosh, then it became a balmum. Rabbi Sai, what would happen to Buksin? What would happen if you made it, if it was a balmum, and then you were magdish it? What would happen? Is he right? That the Kedusha, he's saying the Kedusha doesn't grab. Yes or no? Not 100% accurate. It's accurate, but not accurate. He's more accurate. That's right. It becomes Bedek HaBayis. It's Kaddish only because it can't go on the Mizbeach. Right now, it's not able to go on the Mizbeach. So how can you make something Kaddish when it's not available right this second? So, but you did say it's Kaddish, so it'll go towards the upkeep of the Beis HaMikdash. So therefore, it has to be that he made a Kaddish, then he got a cataract. Now look at this line. I'm going to ask you a question, so you better know this. There's a mum, I'm not going to say it out loud because my wife watches this year. There's a terrible mum called an akeva. Nah. If a oila is an akeva, because the oila has to be a zachar, so if the oila is an akeva, it's as if the mum was there before you made a kash, because it was in a akeva beforehand. What does that mean, the Rebbe Kiva's moida? What does it have to do with the Rebbe Kiva, Rabbi Isai? He says a cataract is something that goes on the Mizbeach, doesn't come off. But it's an akeva, doesn't everybody agree to this? Why Rebbe Kiva? You know why? Because it goes by the bird. Rebbe Kiva says, by a bird, a cataract is not a problem. And you know what? By a bird, nekeva is not a problem. So since an nekeva is not a problem by a bird, I would think that if an oil is an nekeva, you put it on the Mizbeach, it doesn't have to come off. He's moida that by a oila, a nekeva comes off. Now, by a oila. By oila, but yeah. You want to, you know what? Somebody cut out that piece and send it to his wife. Thank you very much. Shkoyach. I didn't say it, you said it. But I'm going to tell you a chiddush. To me, it was a massive chiddush. I didn't know this. And this is going to get to the next line in the Gemara. only 7% of birds have zachrus, have an aver. 93, according pigeons, have 0 zachrus. You hear what I'm telling you? 0, not small, 0. What does it get to us? Oh, so how do they reproduce? There's a way. With two sacs that come together. It's not what you would think of. I didn't know this until the Gemara says it over here. The Gemara says that a bird is not capable of sodomizing another animal. It's not. It doesn't have it. Just not there. It's pashut missing. Mechusar aver, we'll call it even. So says the Gemara. Boy Reb Yirmiyah. Yesh nirba ba'oifos oy ein nirba ba'oifos. Now we can understand the question. It's beautiful. I mean, I didn't know this. I had to look it up. It says mamish, and you look it up. It doesn't have the ability to be roiveya. So the question is, could it be nirba? Perhaps an animal that could be nirba, meaning a human being was roiveya, it is only when it could be roiveya a human being. But since a bird doesn't have a zachrus at all, and that's now we understand. I never understood. How come there's no enough community in the Zohar and the Keva by it comes to Oifos? Because it's very difficult. You don't really see it. There's nothing to see. They look identical. Just one produces eggs and one produces something else. But they're different. The inner organs are different. They don't have, there's no Zach. So Mela, now I can understand this question very well. Yesh nirba v'oivos, can it be, could a human being be reveyed? There's the famous Gemara we learned in Avodah Zarah, that Rav Yehuda says in the name of Shmuel that he saw a Ovid Kechavim, that is, he bought a bird, a goose, Ravoi, Chankoi, Tzaloi, Ve'achloi. He was Riveya a bird. Obviously, he could be Riveya. The question is it considered the psul of Nirba? Halachically. Well, yeah, no, because the hemshach of the Gemara was he took a piece of regular meat from the store and did the same thing. So obviously it's a halachic question. Yesh nirba is a nirba. Mi amrim rabbeim lo yitzis riveva nirba kol echad isa b'riveya isa b'nirba. Of course, Avi's looking it up on ChatGPT. I didn't have a shaila b'chlal. It was 100% pashut. And so are you. And so are you. I see you all, you guys in the screens over there. Yeah. Is it true? Yes. It's all just. But was it a chiddush to you? So to me, it's a chiddush. Okay.
You're doubting the Rebbe is not a chiddush.
No. We wanted to see. I didn't fear us. We're not. It's not. Listen, we're not giving all the details. What is it called? That thing? The coke. They have a way. There's a way.
You should learn from Nachman never to doubt.
What?
He should learn from Nachman.
Koloka. They have a koloka.
Right.
Go figure it out. If the animal is not capable of reveal, let's be nirba, so you can't be reveya him. And therefore, what? It's a big nafkamina. What if a human being was reveya a bird, a pigeon? Could you put it on the mizbeach? But at the end of the day, a disgusting thing happened to it, so you can't put it on the mizbeach. Rabbi Kiva says Bali Mum is allowed to go on the mizbeach. We said it's a cataract. The Misa Nachshinami Bir Nirba. It's part of the list. So Rabbi Kiva should say, oh, he's also a Nirba. Hoyel v'kosher ba'ifais. Since a Nirba is kosher noifais, and Rabbi Kiva says anything that's kosher by a bird is kosher by you don't take it off by an animal. So just like a Baal Mum, a cataract, by a bird is kosher, you don't take it off the mizbeach. So too a Nirba is kosher by a bird, and therefore by the animal you don't take it off. Shema Minah, that a nirba is possible. Otherwise, you would have said that nirba, you don't take it off the mizbeach. We're just going to the Mishnah. Hanirba, a bird. This is a whole list of birds, okay? So nirba. It says mufurish in this brisa. Nirba. Here we go. That's the end of the question. It says mufurish that a bird that's nirba. V'hamuktzah. And somebody set aside a bird for Avodah Zarah. Ve'nevad, or somebody worshipped the bird for Avodah Zarah. Ve'esnan was a payment for znos. U'mechir, he did no, there's a better word. There's a better word. Exchange, but no, like, when you give your coat, barter maybe. That was the word I wanted. I don't know if it's the right word. You bartered a bird for a dog, vitumtum, vandroginus. So this is super interesting, right? Because tumtum is a bird. We just said it doesn't have a zachrus and nakvas, so you have to understand what it means. But anyways, you can't even check the cloakia or whatever it's called. You can't see what's going on. Vandrogenos is it's both. Zachar and Nekeva. So Rashi says, this is an important Rashi. So Rashi says, there's no Zachar by a bird, or that we don't care about it, because the Rashi is asking, so what if you can't see if it's a Zachar and Nekeva? We don't care if it's a Zachar and Nekeva. This is the first time that I know of, and then Menachem Atet checked it out, and I think he's the one that sent it me last night, because I forgot to ask the guys in the koil. We always say that there's a bria b'fnei atzma, but that's by androgynos. When it has both, it's its own thing. But that you don't know, so open it up and check. And why is it a bria? Over here it says a tumtum is a bria b'fnei atzma. So remember that in all of Shas, that Peheim and Beis, we have a shita that says in Zevachim, Peheim and Beis, Rashi says that's a bria b'fnei atzma, a tumtum, not androgynos, a tumtum. I don't remember such a thing. I'm going to ask Rabbi Nachman Mendel and what?
Mishnah says the opposite.
What?
Mishnah Bikurim says androgen is bria b'fnei atzma, but tumtum pamim shu zachar, pamim shu nekeva.
Oh, exactly. So this is a shita. This is a different shita. Kulam etam godim abeis habliya. So it says mefurish that a nirba is shmamina, a nirba is pasul. Yet it has the ability that if you eat it, it becomes you become tummy by swallowing it. Reb Chanin is Gana Kohanim. It says Reb Chanin is Gana Kohanim said, "Oh, my father used to take off the bali mumim." Like Kamashmalan. It says the Mishnah, bali mumim is no good. Take off. But why is he saying, "Oh, my father did it"? What do you gain by that? He's saying a ma'aseh kamashmalan. He's saying a ma'aseh shahaya. It's a lot stronger than a halacha in Shulchan Aruch. When I say the Rav actually passing like this, that when he took it off, he did it in a way that it wasn't noticeable. He kicked it. He gave it a good kick, and it flew off the mizbeach. But he didn't actually take it off with his hands. Not to be mivayish the carbon. A guy in the koil said, not to be mivayish the person that brought it. As a second shot, like there's a concept of kavod abrius. Don't embarrass somebody. Shem shemala amarula. If it falls off the mizbeach, just like when it comes onto the mizbeach, you don't take it off. If it comes onto the floor, it falls on the floor, don't put it back on the mizbeach. So he says that's only when it didn't get singed by the fire. But if it already singed by the fire, yeah, you put it back on. Rav Mari masna reisha, Rav Chanin Masur masna seifa. Our Mishnah is talking about Eivarim. If Eivarim get singed, what? Oh, Rav Chanina Mesura. Is that what it is? Syria, Surah. Yeah, it says before Surah. Ma'amish a kiss from Hashem, unbelievable. Masna Seifa. That the Mishnah we're going to learn tomorrow. That what it says, all these things that you can't eat, bones and the hoofs and the horns. If they're attached to the head, to the leg, you put it on the mizbeach. But if you separated them, you did like a bedika. What is it called? The shaycha takes off I forgot what it's called. He separates the sinews. So don't put it on the mizbeach. On that they said it's only because it wasn't singed by the fire. So the Gemara says, check this out, just to make it easy for everybody. The Reish is talking about Eivarim. Now Eivarim go on the mizbeach usually, just it happens to be puzzle. So if it's singed, if it's singed, you can put it back on. What are you doing? But the Seifa is talking about things that never go on the mizbeach. So Mamela goes like this. If it's something that never goes on the mizbeach, yet if it's singed, you're allowed to put it back. So certainly, real meat that goes on the mizbeach usually, if it's singed, it goes back on. And the one that says that if it fell off the mizbeach, but it was singed, it goes on to the mizbeach, it's a piece of meat. But sinews and tlafayim and karnaim, they never go on the mizbeach, so you don't put it back on. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.